Okay, Lara. So, if I get the situation correct, and correct me if I've got it wrong, then at this moment in time, you've got three young children,
Yeah.
9, 7, and 2, is it?
Yeah.
You lost around 5 stone in weight,
Yeah.
and over the last few months, you've begun to put the weight back on. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
correct.
great. So, if you were to think about a goal to achieve, say, over the next 6 months or so, what would it be?
I suppose to go back to where I was,
Which is
um,
where?
so a stone, just under a stone lighter, I suppose, which was at the time, I think it was 9 stone 8.
Okay. So
And
to
yeah,
get you to 9 stone 8. Okay.
yeah,
To lose a stone and get you to 9 stone 8.
yeah.
Okay. So what do you think is stopping you getting to 9 stone 8, being 9 stone 8?
I think I'm so tired all the time, and come late afternoon, it's my downtime, and I find it really hard with the kids. They come home from school, and I'm preparing their supper, and it's my time where the kettle goes on, and my thermo tea's in the mug, and I've got my water ready, and I feel like I know what to do, but you kind of lose your mojo and find it very hard to sort of pick up again.
Right. So just talk through that a bit more for me. You're getting fatigued in the afternoon.
Yeah,
So the fatigue leads to what?
eating kids
Right.
leftover bits, whatever.
Okay, so you're grazing the food that the children are not eating, and you're picking
Yeah,
up on things. Okay,
yeah,
because you're tired.
yeah.
Um, is that the main issue, you think?
I think so. I mean, I've
Okay.
I've been and had blood tests and checked my iron levels, and that's
Right.
all normal. So I think it's me. I know it's me. I know
Definitely.
it's sort of it's psychological, and I have to get my head back around it again. And I
Okay.
did before. I just
That's
gotta.
okay. That's okay. So it's the fatigue in the afternoon, then making the supper for the children. That's the issue.
Yeah, but I think that's the main issue. And then at that point, I've eaten all their bits, and I've probably had my snack as well. And I try to follow it as carefully as I can throughout the day, and it's all great. And at that point, that's the hard part. And then the weekend comes as well, and that's also hard because
Okay, we'll deal with one at a time. Let's deal with the midweek issue first. Um, so if you were to snack and graze with the children's food, uh, what would you do? What would be your response instead?
well, my upline gets the fairy liquid out, and she gets her kids to pour it onto their food. and
Right, not a good idea. So, from your perspective, though, if
yeah,
if you weren't snacking on their food, what would you be doing that you think would be the right thing to do?
probably picking up my water bottle
Right.
and drinking my water. I know that drinking helps to sort of lift you, and it can sometimes be thirst rather than hunger.
Okay. So, are you drinking enough water?
I'm trying for about 2 liters to 3 liters if I can. Doesn't
Okay.
always work, but I've always got my water bottle with me. So
Is that time of the day when you're particularly not drinking? Do you think?
yeah, probably I suppose because I'm busy with them, and it's homework time, and it's supper's on, and the little one's screaming, and so it's a bit of stress I suppose as well. But that's the time when I'm busy with them all, and I suppose I
Okay.
don't have time at
Okay. So,
that.
drinking more water at that particular time. What else would you be doing that will enable you to cope so that you don't snack?
I don't know really, to be honest. I mean, apart from having a thermo, it's just my mind. I need to change my way of thinking, I suppose.
Okay, it's always about changing your way of thinking, but that's often harder said than done. So, if you had to change your mind, your way of thinking, what would you change it to?
I suppose I've got to focus on, I don't know, my goals. Um, I mean, there's no way I want to go back to where I was before.
Right.
I let myself get there again.
Okay. So here's one issue you might be thinking about because there's a contrast in what you were talking about there. At that point in time, when you're snacking, eating their food, are you focusing on your goal, or are you focusing on not wanting to get back to the way you were before?
Probably more probably more not wanting to get back to where I was.
That's right. So there's a problem in that. What you focus on is what you get. So the fear that's driving you is actually also a distraction for you.
Yeah.
And you end up creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. So do you see yourself as someone who's 9 stone 8, or do you see yourself potentially as someone who's 14, 15 stone 8?
That's a difficult question. It depends on my mood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When your mood's good, I imagine you see yourself as 9 stone 8.
Yeah, I suppose sometimes I feel if I've had a good day of eating, I think, yeah, I'm back to where I was. But
which comes first? The good day of eating that creates the mindset I'm 9 stone 8, or the other way around?
Maybe the good day of eating. I
That's
don't
right.
know. Yeah.
That's right. And maybe the other way around is what you need to be thinking about doing. So you need to be thinking about being a 9 stone 8 person. So if you were a 9 stone 8 person and it got to mid-afternoon, what would a 9 stone 8, with the kids about to come back from school, what would a 9 stone 8 person do to ensure she was actually healthy, had plenty of energy, could deal with the children? What would you be doing?
I think I'd probably be able to cope. I don't know, I think I've just got myself into such a vicious cycle that it kind of like an extra thing I feel won't hurt. Whereas beforehand, when I was at that stage, I was sort of, I don't know, like I couldn't ever envisage myself eating anything that wasn't, in the right time zone or whatever. So I suppose at that time, it wouldn't even occur to me to think to have a snack or have
You're
something.
thinking like a 9 stone 8 person.
Yeah.
You see, and
I'm really happy there. So I suppose
that's right. The problem you've got at the moment, Lara, is you lost a lot of weight. And it doesn't sound right, but your comfort zone was of the person of 14, 15 stone. That's what your comfort zone in your head was.
Yeah.
You lost the weight, which is an incredible achievement, and you achieved the first stage of weight loss, which is you lost the weight. But the second stage, which is the most important stage, is the mental stage. Yeah. That's what we call the transition stage. That's the stage where you've got to change the picture that's stored in your subconscious mind to being someone of 9 stone 8. Now, that doesn't happen quickly. Why? Because you've got the conditions and the old behaviors of someone of 15 stone.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So what you've got to do is you've got to go through that transition stage, and it's the most difficult stage, and it's the stage that most people miss out on. It's the mental change that will create lasting change for you, permanent change, but you've got to actually focus on that for an extended period of time. That's where you need the support. So when you were thinking of a 9 stone 8 person, you made the right choices. When you stopped, i.e. you reverted back to the thinking of the persons before, guess what? You've been making the mistakes, the choices that you made before, and guess what? You're now creating the outcomes of that.
Yeah.
And now what's happening, because you're doing that, you're not eating so well, you're probably not doing some other things you were doing as well, or making the wrong choices, which is leading to fatigue, and it creates that cycle for you.
Yeah.
So now the thing is to go back and focus on this identity, the goal that you want to, which is a 9 stone 8, and begin to see yourself as a 9 stone 8 person. And that's when you say, okay, I'm now in this situation. I've got 2 choices here. Am I Lara, the 9 stone 8 person, making a choice here? Or am I Lara, the 14 stone 8 person, making the choice here?
Yeah.
Make your choice.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're 100% right. It took me a long time, actually, to get my head around from going from to nearly 15 stone to 9 stone 8. And I would just always picture myself in my head, I suppose, as the old me. And whenever I'd go to the shops, I'd try and buy the same style of clothing again because I couldn't get my head around being almost, I suppose, a different person.
That's right. Because you're conditioned not to be.
Yeah.
And, if you could make this change, and I believe you can, but this is the hard bit now. People think losing the weight is the hard bit. It's not. The hard bit is when you've lost the weight and you're in the transition zone because it's mental. And it's so easy to slip back. This is the time when the work needs to be done. And you've spotted it at a good place because it's not all undone. Lots of people let it go and crash back to the way they were before and say, how did that happen? And it happens very quickly.
Yeah.
You've become aware of that. And now what you can do is go, okay, so I want to be Lara, the 9 stone 8 person. Now, sometimes in coaching, I don't suggest what people do. In your case, I'm going to. I suggest you actually put down a list of things that Lara, the 9 stone 8 person would do, what qualities you've got, choices you'd make, behaviors you'd do, and even picture as well, image yourself exactly how you would be. That's the first, that's the starting place. So create the image of the person you want to be. Create the vision of the person you want to be. Okay. And then once we've done that, we'll go to the next phase.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
Great.
It does.
Okay, that's excellent. Well done.
Thank you.